Noel Feather Hunting Videos presents Kickin' Bucks.
I'm Noel Feather. We're down here at the Jim Gottesman Ranch, down here in the hill country in Texas, close to Brady, and we're going to be doing some whitetail hunting here before too long, and hope we do some good, Jim. Everything sure looks good, and from the sign we seen when we was out putting those stands up this morning, why, I don't believe we're going to have any problem getting a shot.
I wouldn't think so, Noel. There's plenty of good whitetails this year.
You've had a lot of rain.
Had good water, good weather. Everything's real favorable. The deer look real good. I think this season will be excellent.
It's a lot greener than what I expected it to be.
Well, we had an exceptional amount of rain this year. It's not normal, and only in the last couple of weeks has it really started to dry out. Other than that, it's been just knee-deep in grass all year.
Noel Feather Hunting Videos presents Kickin' Bucks.
I'm Noel Feather. We're down here at the Jim Gottesman Ranch, down here in the hill country in Texas, close to Brady, and we're going to be doing some whitetail hunting here before too long, and hope we do some good, Jim. Everything sure looks good, and from the sign we seen when we was out putting those stands up this morning, why, I don't believe we're going to have any problem getting a shot.
I wouldn't think so, Noel. There's plenty of good whitetails this year.
You've had a lot of rain.
Had good water, good weather. Everything's real favorable. The deer look real good. I think this season will be excellent.
It's a lot greener than what I expected it to be.
Well, we had an exceptional amount of rain this year. It's not normal, and only in the last couple of weeks has it really started to dry out. Other than that, it's been just knee-deep in grass all year, so the deer should be real healthy, real heavy, good horns on them this year.
That's what I like to hear. I hunted last year in South Texas, down around Freer, Texas, and I was really surprised at how much different the terrain is here than what it was down there.
Well, you have totally different terrain in all areas of Texas depending on where you're going. If you're in East Texas, you got the tall pines and the thick forests.
I'd like to see that sometime.
It's beautiful, and you know, if you get down in the South Texas area, you got the heavy brush country that people are used to looking at, and if you get into this area, You got nice rolling hills and rocky terrain and beautiful clear rivers. It's totally different.
It's really beautiful around here. Down there, it was so dry. You know, they hadn't had any rain, and when we was hunting there, everything was just dust and dirt. You know, and this here to me, this is my kind of country. You know, in comparison with that, I'm sure that they've got a lot of deer down there, and they say they've got some big deer. But if I had to pick a spot, I would definitely rather hunt here than what I've seen down there.
Well, there's good hunting in all areas of the state. It's hard to, you know, the South Texas has a good reputation for big deer and has had for many years.
Sure.
But the fact of the matter is, with the management programs that are going on all over the state, there's big deer in all parts of the state now. And the genetics are here. This is where the Brady buck was killed, which is, I guess, the number 3 non-typical of all time was the number 1 for well over 100 years. It was. Fantastic whitetails.
This looks real good to me, and we've seen, like we say, we've seen a lot of sign there this morning, and the only thing that's disappointing is the weather's a little warmer than I was hoping it'd be. If we was a little later, I'm sure that we'd do better with the rattling, and I would definitely like to have got to do some rattling.
You're probably, you know, maybe 2 or 3 weeks early for the rut, and the weather's just started to cool off even this much.
Yeah,
it was in the high 90s last week.
It was pretty chilly this morning, so that might help, you know, touch it off a little bit.
I think the deer hunting will be quite good. What you'll normally see this time of year, you will very seldom see a lone buck. You're going to see bucks mixed with does and lots of bucks together, and they're still paired up and that sort of thing. So if you're just quiet in this, particularly since it's dried out, if you just sit real quiet and wait, you should get an opportunity to take a real nice buck, or several, you know.
I'm hoping, and I'm going to try a little rattling, but I think I'll wait and try it on the real cool mornings first.
Yeah, I think that would be
see
better.
how that goes, you know, and maybe have an opportunity to see a buck and use the grunt call, and just give it a try and just see how it works. Because a lot of times buck will come to rattle horns or a grunt call, you know, several weeks before any breeding actually takes place, and we just might do some good. And from everybody I've talked to, the weather really makes a big difference in Texas about how well horn rattling really works.
And the weather gets them started. Usually when the cooler weather comes along, and in this part of Texas, you're talking about November, you know, versus South Texas where you're talking about mid-December. So.
Well, it was mid-December when I was there last year, you know, and we had 90-degree weather.
Right.
And even that late in the year, the horn rattling was not good.
No.
You know, they would come to horns, but it was not like the guy said, you can't believe 10 days from now how much difference it could be.
Oh, it'll change. The hunting will change totally in a week's time. I mean, it'll go from real slow to real hot, and then they'll run for several days, and then for a couple of days you don't see anything, and then they come out at night, and it really mixes, you know, real rapidly.
Well, horn rattling, I mean, Texas got the reputation for being a place where horn rattling started, and horn rattling is my thing, you know. I really like it. I've done a lot of it, and one of the first people in my part of the country, you know, of Illinois, to ever actually doing horn rattling and make it work. Probably not the first, but at least one of the first. But I'm really looking forward to sometime getting down here when it's at its peak, because they tell me that it's just fantastic, you know, that they'll just run right over you.
Noel, I've had, and I don't joke with you, I can take you to other hunters and they'll tell you we've had 15 to 17 bucks coming in different directions at one time.
You know, that's just hard for me to believe. You know, not that I doubt your word, but what I'm getting at is, at home, 3 is the most bucks I've ever rattled in at one time.
Well, Texas has a very large deer population.
Well, you've got so many more deer than what we've got.
And I think that's a big contributing factor to how many deer come to set a horn. They got smaller territories.
That's true.
Where you got much bigger territories.
We've got some big deer up there that that will match it just about anybody, but we don't have the numbers, and we don't have the cover to hide a big herd of deer like you've got here. And that's the thing, you know, especially trying to video. We want to get some nice bucks on film if we can, and I believe we're going to do it a lot faster here than we would back home.
Oh yeah, well,
which we'll be hunting there some, this year, as well as probably 4 or 5 other states.
Sure.
But.
Well, I think you'll have a good hunt, even though we're early for the rattling. You know, you're still going to have a good hunt, and you're going to see a lot of deer. Right this time of year, you're usually going to see them, the very first half hour of the morning and probably the last hour of the day.
Yeah.
They really don't have any reason, because the pastures are still pretty lush. They don't have any particular reason to come out during the day. If they're not rutting, they just won't do it.
It's pretty warm. We probably should get on back up there and get everything, get our stuff ready and head back over to those stands, because it's not going to be too long. It's going to be time going.
It's that time. It's time to get up in that stand.
Let's go do it.
it.
Having noticed some rubs in the area, and with the cooling of the evening temperatures, Noel decides to try his hand at rattling. A very good buck has been seen in this area, and if the buck happens to be dominant, Noel has a good chance, along with a little luck from the pre-rut, to bring him out of heavy cover, and possibly close for a good shot. Noel first uses his grunt call just in case a buck is near, but not yet seen. If a deer does not step into view, he then starts to horn rattle. A big buck responds to the horn rattling. Notice the slightly arrogant defensive action of the buck as he looks for the source of two bucks battling. Noel sees the buck and prepares for a shot.
He's down. I got him. He's a good one, man. Is he a good buck? He's a dandy. That buck is he's about a 20-inch spread. It looked good. It looked good.
The arrow hits perfectly behind the 12-pointer's front shoulder. The buck, hit hard, crashes through the thick brush in an effort to make it into the safety of heavy cover.
I don't think he went too far. I think I seen him go down. I'm gonna see if I can pick up the blood up here. We better stick with the blood. We find him or lose light. Here's blood here. Not bleeding as good as I thought he would. Or else I just wasn't. There's blood on that rock. I don't see him right now. Man, I thought he was pumping blood. I could see blood on his rib cage. There he is. Man, look at that. What a buck. He's a dandy. He is a dandy buck. Man. He is a good one. He's that 12. He's that 12 we seen the other day. He's a good one, ain't he? Perfect 12 pointer. It just don't get any better than this, buddy. He's a good one. He is a good buck. Pretty buck, too. Perfect 12. Well, I'm gonna go get the four-wheeler. Come back and get him. He's a good one. Man, I'm a deer. That's what we've been after.
After 2 days of hard scouting, Noel decides to hunt an area which seems to have several does living in it. He positions his stand downwind and to one side of a heavily used trail. The temperature this evening is warmer than in previous 3 days. Noel decides not to horn rattle. Instead, he plans to wait and hope that a buck will come along and perhaps scent check a group of does feeding nearby. After a few hours on stand, a good buck shows up. Noel sees the buck and prepares for a shot. The buck, uninterested in the does, decides instead to feed. Noel's arrow passes completely through the deer as the buck explodes into a run. The buck runs a small circle, then crashes into some trees. Let's view the action in slow motion. Now join Noel, along with ranch foreman and expert whitetail deer guide Mike Nichols, as they take up the trail of the arrowed buck.
Sure that he's down. Never even bent the arrow.
No? Use it again, get another one.
Put some new blades in there and be ready to go again.
There you go again.
Well,
Let's go see if we can find it.
He went down around here, made a hook, went down there, and like I said, I think I seen him go down. I heard brush cracking, so pretty sure that he, crashed into some trees or something. I don't think we'll try to pick up the blood here, but I don't think we'll even need it.
Well, this is pretty open. We shouldn't have a whole lot of trouble.
No, I don't think we'll have a bit of trouble. Let's see if we can get some blood here, though.
Here's a little bit
right here. Yeah. See if that's on that rock?
On these rocks.
Yeah. That makes it a lot easier where you got rocky terrain like that. Let's see if we can follow the blood here just to make it easier. I'm pretty sure. He went down there, he hooked around and he run back, and then the last I see him I heard brush breaking. I'm pretty sure that that was him going into that brush. You find any over there?
No, not a fit yet. Here's Bless.
Yeah, that's good. He's not bleeding like I thought he would.
No.
It looked to me like that it was a real good hit.
Must be internal.
I hit him just about where, you know, where I thought I wanted to, and I'm sure that that was him racing into that tree.
Yeah. Blood right here, you cross this old road here.
Across the road there?
Yeah.
That's about where I seen him.
Not really a road, it's more like a cow trail. But he crossed, there's some blood right there.
Yeah,
Went right
blood
across,
on it.
right across here.
Blood on that rock right there.
Here's some more right here on
Yep,
this rock.
over there. Yeah, he's bleeding pretty good. I didn't think that it'd be that big a deal, but I wanted, you know, wanted to get the truck to get him back to the ranch anyway.
Yeah.
So I just come on back to get you.
You don't want to carry him.
A little bit long to carry. Yeah, he went right through here. There he is.
Yeah, there he is.
There he is.
He's got a lot of horns sticking up like that.
He's got a pretty nice rack on him.
Good deal.
He didn't look like he had a lot of spread, but his horns are real high. Oh yeah.
Well, that'll work.
Yeah, he's a good buck.
Pretty heavy.
He's a nice one.
Pretty heavy for this part of the country.
What do you think of that dude?
That'll work.
He's a good one, huh?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 point.
Ain't that something?
Yeah, that's
You
a
had
nice
one
rig.
more,
You
you
got a good hit on him.
Been a perfect rack. That's where it had to
Yeah.
come out because I hit
Come
him.
out the other side.
Yeah,
Coming out this side. Yeah, that's a good hit.
he's a good buck, ain't he? Is that considered a pretty decent deer for this
For
area?
down here, it's pretty nice.
Our deer at home would be quite a bit bigger body.
A lot
you
bigger
know,
than this, yeah.
but
These deer down here
they're
don't.
pretty though. Their hair is so short and slick, you know.
Mhm.
They're really a pretty
Well, I
deer.
think the average bucks around here in this country run about 100 pounds, but this deer weighs more than that. He probably weigh 125.
I like to see them. I like to see these bucks down in this part of the country and down in like Georgia and Alabama. They're deer too. When they're mounted up, you know, you can see
Yeah,
you can see the veins, and they can really put a lot of definition into them.
yeah. Shows
So.
what you got.
Yep.
Well, he's a nice buck.
He's not too shabby. I'll say that for him. Yep, that's a.
How far was he out when you shot him?
I'd guess he's probably 25, 30 yards when I shot him.
Running by himself?
Well, there was some other deer. Yeah,
Was
there
he?
was some other deer come in. Yeah. Well,
Well, that ought to work.
let's
You
get the truck and.
Go get the truck and come and get him?
Yeah, I'll just leave my bow there.
Yeah.
We'll go back up there
Oh,
and
you
get the
should
truck.
dragging him.
No, you got that right. I'd like you to meet Mike Nichols, Jerry Crawford. A couple of guides here at the ranch has been helping us out this week. We've been trying to kill them old whitetails. Been having a lot of fun trying. We haven't done too good yet. But we're just discussing horn rattling and the real horns versus synthetic horns and whatnot. And we might just take a couple minutes to discuss a little bit about the two.
Okay.
That pair that you have there, Mike, now that's a pair of sheds?
Yeah, these are sheds I picked up. They were from last year's. One of last year's bucks down here. It's pretty
good buck.
heavy.
Yeah,
Heavy
little.
enough horns for rattling. A lot heavier than what you're carrying around. I know that.
Well, these are about half the weight of real horns, which is not a big thing. I mean, it ain't gonna break a guy down to carry a pair of real
Yeah.
horns. These are handy. But mainly the reason I picked that particular pair to make my mold was the shape. I just like the shape of the horns, the wide spacing, the way they come together good. It makes them easy to
Yeah,
use.
easy to lock
That
in.
pair right there looks to me like that might be a little bit hard to use because of the shape of them.
They are. They don't. You know, they don't lock in real good. They're good and heavy, and I like the sound of them. But they're a little bit hard to lock in. you
Those
know,
are
but-
heavy. A
but
lot of
they're-
mass weight to
Yeah,
them.
they got a lot of weight to them. They're pretty heavy horns. But yeah, I needed a pair, and they were the best thing I
Well,
had
you-
at the time, and so I'll just make do with them.
You can rattle a buck in with almost anything, you know, given situation. If a buck's in the right frame of mind, you can take a couple arrows and click them together, and he'll come
Anything
to it.
if he wants to.
Right. But I don't know. Like I said, I've been using these for probably 4 years now. I've used them every week in seminars and you know, used them in hunting and everything else for the last 3 or 4 years, and they hold up well. And they're easy to come by, I guess, is the big thing. I used the real horns for years, you know, before I ever come out with these things here. And I have nothing against them. I used them for 20 years, but most guys, if they kill a buck that's anyways near this size, you know, we'll say he's 18-inch inside spread, you don't want to cut their horns off.
Yeah, they want to say
You know, he wants to put him on the wall.
Talking cutting up his horns, and he gets a little bit mad.
Yeah, well, you know, they just want to have them mounted, I guess. And it got harder and harder for me to find the real ones to sell. You know?
Made some.
So
Well, I like them. I really like them.
We've
They
had-
sound the same.
yeah, we've had real good luck with them, you know. They just come together. You know, I believe it's really going to pick up. I mean, the weather this morning, it was chilly.
It was nice this morning, and you know, there's a few the bucks are running with the does a little bit, and I've been seeing a few rubs, and saw a good rub this morning over here. I thought we might go look at it. Well, we might try in the morning if it's cool as it was this morning. We
Well,
might have some luck.
I-
It's just about on top of us.
I seen them 2 bucks the other day that was, you know, making scrapes.
Yeah.
You seen one, I think, the other evening over there. So
It's just about time. It's getting close.
it should pick up, and as you said, the cool morning seems to really make a big difference.
Yeah, it'll help them a lot. You know, it's been hot down here, but it's kind of cooling off now in the mornings, and you know, it's getting close. I think in another week it'll be full swing down here.
Yeah, I talked to that old boy in the cafe the other evening when you have supper, and I talked to an old boy in there that said he'd rattled in 2 this week. So you know, it's definitely
It's
picking up.
Yeah,
It won't be very long. It'll be full.
Well, I don't know, but I think we can give it a try, you know, and it won't hurt anything. We can try them. If they don't come, they don't come. But
I may not try it this afternoon, but I'm definitely going to start in the morning.
yeah, I
When it's
think in the
cold,
morning
see,
when it's
you know.
cool as
See if
it's
they
going to be
don't-
in the morning, I think it'll work.
I think in another week, I think they'll be in full swing.
Maybe they will.
Well, I don't know. I know we got to go move a couple of tripods, though. If you want to, we'll go move those tripods, go look at that rub, and try to set up for in the morning. Maybe we.
Well, if we got to move those stands, you got some other guys that going to need some stands, and I want to move my stand over at that one big oak we
Yeah,
looked
you
at
got
over
that.
there, and get that set up for this afternoon. I think that's where I'll hunt.
That'll be a good deal.
We could stop and check that rub though on the way over
Yeah,
there.
we can. Then put your tree stand up. Well, I think it'll work.
Okay, let's
All
go
right.
and move it.
We'll do it.
Whitetail bucks vary greatly in both antler and body size. These exceptional Texas whitetails vary from heavy antlered bucks with wide racks to bucks with heavy and high racks. Whitetail bucks are unique in the fact that no 2 antler configurations are the same. A hunter always has that chance of seeing a bigger, better buck. Let's now watch Noel Feather as he rattles from an oak tree overlooking a very large area choked with dense brush. Notice how Noel's real tree camouflage pattern blends in perfectly with his surroundings. Being well hidden is a must if horn rattling is to work properly. This quiet, dark, rainy morning is ideal for horn rattling. The sound of bucks fighting should carry a good distance. Several minutes later, a buck approaches, and Noel prepares to draw back his bow. It's a very good buck with high, heavy tines and a wide spread.
That's the one I've been looking for, baby. I didn't see him go down, but I think he just went and made that big hook. He shouldn't be too far.
Hit a little far back, Noel decides to wait a few hours for the buck to lay down and stiffen up. This is a good method to use in recovering a deer when the bow hunter is not quite sure of the exact placement of the shot. By not being pushed, the deer will travel a short distance and lay down. Unfortunately, heavy rain soon moved in, and the deer could not be recovered until nightfall.
We got him, buddy.
Hey, good.
He's a dandy.
Didn't go far.
No, I didn't think he would. But he come in, you know, time I shot him and everything. Give him a little time. Better to be safe than sorry.
He's a good buck.
Good shot.
He's a dandy, ain't he?
Having taken some very good bucks while hunting the J. Gottsman Ranch over the past few years, Noel decides to give the ranch a hand at harvesting an inferior buck called a scrub or cull deer. These deer are usually 1.5 years old and will never be the big, heavy 8, 10, and 12 pointers this ranch is managed for. Very few cull bucks have been seen by Noel, and he just can't pass up the opportunity to harvest one of these deer. What they lack in antler size is made up for in the mouth-watering, tasty young venison. The shot is good, as the arrow passes completely through the young spike buck. Bleeding heavily, the buck runs barely 100 yards before the razor-sharp cutting edges of the broadhead take effect.
Ain't he a trophy? Hey, they're all trophies when you take them with a bow. He's good. Be some good eating on that one. I'll just drag him back up there. I won't even bother to go back and get the truck. I probably should just gut him here and tag him.
Mike Nichols, along with whitetail expert and veteran guide Jerry Crawford, take Noel to an area where big rubs have been discovered. Plenty of deer tracks and trails that run together indicate a honey hole that bow hunters dream of. A huge buck has been seen in this area late in the evenings. Let's listen to these experienced guides so we may learn why a trophy buck would seek this location for safe daytime bedding.
Pretty good rub,
Here's one right here.
something worth checking out.
Yeah.
Good rub with a lot of tracks, a lot of sign. If you're trying to tree to hang your stand in, it might work for you.
Well, that's a little bit of a problem in this country is finding a tree that works out to put a tree stand.
Yeah.
But this is a whole lot better than what we had down in South Texas last year. We really had problems down there. But
You can see where all the trails are coming in.
there's several.
There's two real good ones
Two good ones right
right
here.
over there that's coming together.
That's a deer trail there?
Yeah. Coming out of that thick stuff up here to the left.
Geez, me crying, that looks like a cattle path.
We don't have any livestock, so we know it's all game.
That's gotta be deer.
Gotta be there.
I'll tell you one thing. They've been using them.
Yeah, they have. Well, they're going down. There's a water hole in that draw way on down there, about half a mile, and they're going back and forth the water down there.
Look right here where the two come together.
Yeah.
See where they join right up here. There's a little more.
Really a hot area right here.
Those are good looking trees. Branches off this way too.
Well, right here's where I saw that nice 12 point the other day. Then we came out in here, and Jerry came out scouting this, see if we could find anything in particular that might let us think he stays here a lot, and we found this big rub over here.
You know,
So,
that's what I always say. A big buck will rub on rub on a big tree and he'll rub on a little tree. But a little buck, he usually won't rub a big tree.
right.
That's right.
So
Well, come and look at this rub and see what you think about it, and then we'll look see if we can
if I can
find
find,
a tree if you wanted to try it.
I've seen enough already. These runs right here to know that there's been a lot of deer been coming down through here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's
Quite a bit of deer. You can
a lot of tracks.
Yeah,
tracks on this.
This whole ground is hard, but you can see the tracks there.
Yeah, they've got it beaten down
Man alive. That's the rub you talked about right there?
right here. Yeah.
Nice size.
Pretty good rub, and there's lots of fresh tracks right here. Some good fresh tracks. See where he's been
Oh, there's all kinds of tracks
coming up
through
through there, so.
They all, you can't tell how fresh they are because of the
But
dry
you can sure
ground.
tell that the rub is fresh. He's really been working on that tree.
Yep, worked her over pretty good. Yep, that's pretty fresh. Well,
Well, I think that maybe he's staying in here a little bit, you know, because like I say, I've seen him twice now, right here, pretty close to the same place.
boy, he'd be a dandy.
I think
is
we
a good
found it.
deer.
I think we found the location. If we can only find a place to put your stand, and
All this real thick stuff back up in here now. Would you say that would be a good, maybe probably a good guess of where he might be bedding?
I'm pretty sure he's bedding down back in there.
That stuff is thick back there.
Oh yeah, it's real thick places. You got to really do some walking to get around through there.
Man, I don't know where I can put a stand here. This is too close to the tree. I
Yeah,
have to
this
put-
is too close. No, there's a couple of good trees. Right in that thick stuff, right on the edge. Trail.
That wouldn't be too bad.
We might walk up in there and see what we can find up in there.
Noel set up his stand earlier in the afternoon, crosswind between the heavy cover and a large water hole. He positioned the stand 20 yards off the intersection of the two trails, confident of a good, clear shot. The sun is starting to set, a prime time for trophy bucks to sneak out of heavy cover.
He's a good buck, man. He must have about an 18-inch spread. I think he's a 10, I'm not sure. That is a good one. That is a good buck, baby. That's the one I wanted. That's the one we seen the other night. That's the one I wanted.
The shot is right on, and the arrow angles forward, taking out both lungs. This buck won't run too far, as the arrow passes completely through.
I got him! I got him! You betcha. He's a dandy. He's a good one.
Good deal.
Yeah, bet.
See him go down?
Yep, seen him go down.
Was it a nice one?
Oh, he's a good one. He looked at me like he's somewhere a 10 or maybe even 11. I'm not sure.
Oh,
But
man.
he's a good one.
A good deal.
He's a good one.
Where'd he go?
I shot him from right over there in the stand.
Yeah.
He took off here. He was standing right about in there where I shot him. He went this way. He went down in that brush, and then I seen him hook back, and down in that high grass, I seen him go down.
Well, good deal.
Man.
Good deal. Well, shouldn't be hard to find down there then.
Oh, there will be no problem. If I can find my arrow over here, why?
There's your arrow. Laying right
Okay,
here.
yep,
I can
there's
see it.
the arrow.
Yeah, I'd say you got him pretty good.
Yep.
Lots of blood.
Yeah, I thought it went all the
hair,
way. Thought it went all the way through.
all the
him.
way through. Yeah, it did.
I was trying, for a long shot, and I think that must be what I got quick as he went down. So we don't even need to follow the blood. We're just going down this way.
Well, this
He's
is
down
not
here
hard
to-
to follow. Look at it.
Down in this high grass. Yeah, he's bleeding pretty good.
We better slow down a
I
little
just
bit.
wanted to see if I could see the blood here somewhere. See how bad he was bleeding. We won't need to follow him because I seen him go down.
Yeah.
Boy, it couldn't work better. I'll tell you what. He's a nice buck.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Good deal.
he's a good one.
I'm glad of that.
I don't know, maybe he went on the other side of that bush. I thought he went on this side, but I was pretty excited. I don't know for sure.
I think he went in there. There's a trail right there. You think he went around this way?
Well, he may have. Well, to see blood here somewhere. Of course, this grass is hard to see it.
Yeah.
You can see the deer laying down there.
Oh, you seen him?
Yeah, see horns. You get out there and open, see horns stick up.
Oh,
out the
yeah, I've
grass.
seen him now. We don't need to look for blood then.
No, not really. Yeah, I think he went,
Oh, yeah.
he went around there. I lost him for a little bit, and then he come back out of the brush, and that's when he went down. I still don't see blood, but we don't need it.
No, as long as we got a deer,
As long as we don't slip on a rattlesnake going down through here, we'll be all right.
maybe a little too cool for him.
Yeah,
hope.
this little cooler weather probably would discourage some.
I hope so.
Yeah.
We don't need this.
No, we definitely don't need nothing like this.
Well, I'll tell you what, he got in a tricky pair patch, didn't he?
Yeah, he sure did.
Probably covered up with tricky pair.
Yeah, there's don't make any difference. Boy, he didn't go. How far do you say that is? 150 yards at the most?
Yeah.
Yeah, about that.
About that pretty
He
close.
went over, he come around there, he went over those bushes there, he disappeared, but I could tell he was, he was hit hard, and then he just come running right back out of there.
Hey, look at here.
He's a good one,
He's
ain't
a dandy, isn't
he? He's a pretty buck.
he? Isn't he? Look at that dude. He's got a kicker down here on the bottom.
What is he, 11?
Well,
Or 10 or what?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
11.
9, 10, 11,
and a
12
kicker.
with a kicker back
Yeah,
there.
12 if you got the kicker. Look at this hole in this fork.
Yeah,
Pin holder.
I don't know, I've heard people say that they get injured. You like when they're in the velvet?
Yeah.
And blowflies gets in there.
Oh,
That's
And
probably
it's
why
what
it's
does
white.
that.
probably
you know.
what it is. Well, he's a nice one.
Well, he is, ain't he?
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty nice buck.
Yeah, he's a pretty one. Yep, that dude will look nice on the wall, won't he?
I believe he's a keeper. No?
Yeah, I think so.
He'll make my book. Ooh, I got me a cactus.
Yeah, that's why I got these things on here right here.
Pretty good sized deer
Yeah, he is.
for this part of the country anyway.
Yeah, he's a good buck. He's a dandy. What'll he weigh? About 175, 75?
Yeah, I think he might go that much. Looks like he would.
Yeah, he's a good one. Good solid. Isn't he light colored?
Boy, isn't he?
He's lighter than,
Yeah, he
than most
is.
of the deer that I've seen.
He's really
Most of
pretty.
them are darker than that.
Yeah, this buck here looks more like a
Pretty
he looks
deer.
more like an Illinois deer.
Pretty deer.
You betcha.
Well, that's fantastic.
Hey man, I'll tell you, I was happy it couldn't work better. That is a
They
dandy.
get a little tough down here, don't they?
You better believe
Hard
it.
to come by.
You better believe it. There's lots of deer and there's lots of good bucks, but there's lots of does to goof you up
Yeah,
too.
there really
Yeah,
is.
there's a
You
lot
know,
of.
the least little thing, boy, especially when you're trying to film and get everything, just right, boy, it really makes it tough.
Yeah.
Well, we're about as close as we can get, I guess. Why don't we just drag
Yeah.
him up the other side there?
Yeah, it's not that.
By using his horn-rattling techniques and employing the help of two very experienced guides, Noel has harvested some very impressive bucks.
Really.
There's about as two as nice a bucks as you're ever going to kill in a 10-day period, I'll tell you
Yeah,
that.
in a 10-day period, that's a lot more hunting.
You might go out and get one big one,
Yeah, but getting two.
but to go out there and get 2 bucks, a 12-pointer and a 11-pointer.
and being able to get them on film, and
Well, see,
it's
that's
a little rough.
that's the whole problem right there. Just go out and kill a deer. That's hard enough with a
Yeah.
bow and arrow, but when you're going out there and trying to get them son of guns close enough
Yeah.
to get them on, shoot them and then get the footage and every bit. And there's 2 people there. You're leaving twice as much scent. You're making twice as much movement. It's tough. There ain't no doubt about it.
Yeah,
But you got it
I saw
done.
that. It was a little tough.
But I'll tell you what, that's not no world record, but he's a dandy.
Yeah,
Fourth
they're
line,
nice
sir.
deer. They're nice.
That's a
deer.
good buck,
Sure are.
and so is that buck there. There's quite a bit of difference in the color of them. This buck, this 11-pointer is a lot lighter. Look at his face and everything.
Yeah,
I noticed it when I was watching the buck before I shot him that he was a real light color. And he actually looked to me like that he was quite a bit bigger than this buck.
They look bigger in the woods, don't they?
They sure do. But when you get them together, he's not really that much bigger, I don't
No,
think.
there's not that much difference in them, really.
I don't believe they are. That's a good looking deer.
And they're nice. They're really nice.
What do you figure these deer are? Probably 3.5, 3, 4 years old?
Yeah, somewhere around 4.5 probably.
I'll tell you what, these deer, that we had for for supper last night. I'll tell you what, that's some of the best
That was pretty
venison
good.
that I've ever eaten.
It was good, wasn't it?
They talk about corn-fed deer back up in the north, up in my part of the country of Illinois. But I'll tell you one thing, these Texas bucks, I don't know if it's the feed or what, but they were just as good as any deer I've ever eaten.
Well, we've had a lot of rain, and the forage is good. They've had everything they
Maybe-
need just about.
Maybe just the way your wife cooked it.
Maybe.
That could have something to do with it.
Maybe
really.
she knows
Yeah.
just how to do it. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I sure enjoyed myself. I had a good time. I want to thank both you guys for all your efforts.
Well,
and
it's been a pleasure to us. This
kinda
is something
enjoyed it,
different to
though.
us.
Yeah.
We don't have very many videos made down here. We have a lot of hunters, but we don't have very many videos. It's been different.
Well, it is tough. There's no doubt about that. And I guess when you get them together, it's worthwhile. If
Yeah.
people enjoy seeing them, why
Really.
it's with what footage that we got last year. We didn't get enough to put one together, and with these 2 bucks here, I think that'll make a pretty good video. And
Well, I hope it does.
I think we're gonna go ahead and try to get her together.
Well, I think people enjoy watching it. No.
Well, I hope they do.
I enjoyed watching you make it.
I'll say one thing, that I enjoyed making it. I enjoyed shooting them, and we hope that you folks will enjoy watching it.
Yeah, really do.